Hi, it's Angelo Caruso. Welcome to episode 2 of the Present Like a Pro playlist. Say that 3 times fast. Present Like a Pro playlist. Wow. In this episode, we're going to talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of something that almost everyone uses in their presentations these days, and that is PowerPoint, or Prezi, if you will. The things I'm going to talk about today apply to both. For example, this idea of everyone using the same tool now to differentiate their messages from other people. It doesn't make any sense to me that if you're trying to roll out a serious customized message that you'd use the same presentation tool that everybody else uses. If you're a salesperson, you're trying to differentiate your product or service, why would you use the same presentation mechanism? Why couldn't you be a little bit more original, for example, and not use PowerPoint at all? And I think the reason is because PowerPoint is a crutch for a lot of people. Not only does it serve as your talking points, but everybody thinks that maybe some sort of AV makes you more interesting. Why can't you just be more lifelike on your own? I don't know. So my first tip is almost counterintuitive. My first tip about using PowerPoint is, hey, let's not use PowerPoint. And I realize a lot of you are being mandated to use some sort of visual aid, some sort of PowerPoint or Prezi. And if that's true, consider using a one-slide PowerPoint presentation, one image that you could tell a story around. Maybe it's an image of a happy customer that was served by your product or service that you can build your presentation around, right? Because people don't want more bullet points, everybody. People want success stories, right? So to the extent that you can tell good stories and engage people on that level, I think it's a much better presentation than 56 slides that you've pre-prepared or maybe are just showing because it's the same 56 slide PowerPoint presentation that you gave to your last client. You don't think people figure that out, right? So these are just things that I think would work in your best interest. But let's say that you have to give a PowerPoint presentation. Let's say you have to give more than one slide. Your boss told you this is how it has to be. I would suggest using PowerPoint only in the middle third of your presentation. Why? Because I think in the first third of your presentation, you want to use eye contact and to build rapport with people, right? You want to get your audience to know, like, and trust you in the first few minutes. It blows my mind that we spend so much time and energy getting people into a presentation room only to say, please, look at the slideshow while I turn off the lights. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. So I would say just present in the middle third of your presentation and only show slides that you cannot represent through verbiage during your regular part of your talk. Here are some tips for best practices for using PowerPoint. I like to use oversized fonts. And what I mean by that is you're expanding the font size almost to the margins of the slide image, right? Make sure that the image itself, the proportion of the image is set up for the projector. Get there early to do this so that it's showing in the best, showing your message in the best possible light, so to speak. I also recommend one photograph per slide only. It kills me when people set up a slide, you know, and they say, and there's like 3 or 4 photographs. And then invariably the speaker says something stupid like, you probably can't see these from the back row. Well, if they can't see them from the back row, then why'd you put them up in the first place? Another recommendation is often in a presentation, certainly if you're presenting only in the middle third with your PowerPoint, you need to find a smooth mechanism for turning on the slide or lighting up the screen and then going dark again. And that presentation is very easy. That mechanism is very easy. You just, in PowerPoint, press B for black, right? Which takes the slideshow dark, and then you press B again to bring the presentation back up if you need to. So it's B for black and B for back. A lot of people don't know this, even 10 years on. But it's a great shortcut key, and I use it all the time when I use PowerPoint, which isn't very often. Finally, a lot of people are embedding video in their presentation, and that's fine as long as you are using something in your slide deck where the movie or video has already been downloaded. You can use a thumb drive for this if you'd like. But if you're trying to stream it, you're asking for trouble because a lot of hotel rooms, a lot of conference sites do not have the bandwidth for this, and you're going to get that stutter stop thing going. It's so embarrassing. So I highly recommend that you rehearse or test the video in advance, and nothing beats having the video already loaded onto a thumb drive or embedded in the presentation somehow, where it's not feeding from the internet, because you're asking for trouble if you do it that way. So I hope these tips are useful to you. I have a blog article about how PowerPoint is killing your presentations. I'll put it in the show notes down below. I welcome your comments and other tips about using PowerPoint. So we're all learning, right? We can all do better at this. And then finally, episode 3 of this playlist is about using something called home base and satellite locations when you're presenting. I'll talk about that more in the next video. Thanks for being with me, everybody. If you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and of course, click that bell so that you're notified of all new videos when they happen. Thanks very much, and good luck with your presentations.